Wes, I've had this thought for since last night, and I just need to share it with you and other people because I just need to get it out of my head.
Yeah.
But do you think like so many animals are named by what they look like, right? Somebody at one point saw a fish that had whiskers and was like, that was like a cat, and somehow that stuck, right? But people must have gotten it wrong here and there. Hey, like somebody at some point must have seen an octopus for the first time and was like, "We should name that by the number of legs it has." But like, it was the first time I saw it. So, do you think it was ever called like a sextopus or a septopus, thinking it was 6 or 7 legs? Like, do you think they fucked it up at first?
Well, what I want to know is, I mean, if following your logic, it should be called like an octoleg or something, but it's not. It's called an octopus.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not a scientist or anything, but I don't. That's not what I see when I look at that.
I mean, obviously they did it because they're like, one day somebody's going to make a James Bond movie referencing
But you would
this.
think though, like, I mean, listen, like,
Yeah, I'm listening.
if it has 8 legs, shouldn't it
Yeah.
be called a quadrupus? Because
Ooh.
you know what I'm saying? Like 2 legs per one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess. I think we've only made this whole theory worse. So
Yeah, for sure.
you ready? You ready to start the show?
As ready as I was before you asked me that weird question.
Let's go. This is PSVR GamesCast Live. We film live every single Monday, WesDay, and 2 Eyes Friday right here on YouTube. We do it live 6 p.m. Eastern for your viewing pleasure. If there's any connection problems, if we're struggling, I don't know what to tell you. I'm doing a quick speed test right now to see what's happening. But YouTube is not happy with how things are going. So fingers crossed that this all self-corrects because there is nothing I can do. Yeah. And if you're listening to this on podcast services of your choice, woohoo! There's like 400 of you. You're in a very elite club. My name is Bryan Paul from this channel right here without Parole in this channel. And over here to my left, your right, it is Wes Dillon from Virtual Strangers. What's up, Wes?
What's up, Bryan? What's up, Game Cats? Hey, just another typical Wednesday where we're getting ready to launch another PSVR2 game. Just like last week and the week before and next week. The answer is nothing special, Bryan. Just a regular week over here.
You really know how to put it into perspective. Like, you guys are developing full ass games, and all I have to do is play them and review them, and somehow that takes up every single second of every single day that I live. And but making them must be even worse.
Luckily I don't even have to do that. Like, I don't make games. No one out there should think for a moment that I have anything to do with that. I just I just show up to the meetings and pretend to be an expert and tell them what they should be doing. And I'm sure they resent me for it, but it's my job. And then I tell the world about the games, like you guys and Bryan. And sometimes I play them too.
Right? I stopped going to meetings because it just made me want to drink more.
Yeah, it does that for sure.
I don't get AA. I don't understand. I go to AA, right? I've been to AA many, many times, and they all get up there and they talk, and they're like, the number of times I woke up in a gutter, homeless with no job, and I was like, bro, like, I was bad, blackout drunk every single night for like almost 2 decades. Like, I held it together, man. I held it together. Like, I managed to like go to work every day. And so you sit there and you listen to these stories and like, they're terrible. And I feel awful for these people. But it made me think, oh, as it turns out, I don't have a problem. I am just fine. I'm going to go get drunk. It's a very weird situation to be in.
Yeah, it is. And you're right. A lot of the times these people are just looking for excuses not to try. And that's why they found themselves where they're at. It isn't because they're badly addicted, which they are, and that's a big hindrance. But I'm like you, Brian. Like I was in pretty rough shape for a while in terms of like excessive partying and really being, you know, addicted. And I always, kept my job. Like I didn't, my bills got paid, and I didn't have my house foreclosed on or get evicted or anything like that. And I think that has to come down to just how much people are willing to try sometimes. And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
People are just wired differently, I guess.
Everybody's different. Yeah, I'm certainly not gonna. We're not gonna tell people that they're not trying hard. They show up at meetings, right? So they're definitely trying. But like, I just don't
They're
understand.
showing up at meetings. They're showing up at meetings so that they can find someone else who wants to go party.
Right, I found all my friends at AA.
Yeah.
Anyway, it sounds like we're being really shitty about people.
I'm
who
just
have
talking out of
addictions.
my ass. Don't pay any attention to what I'm saying. I'm just talking out of my ass right now.
Listen,
I'm drunk right now.
I desperately want to be. It is on nights like this where it's just like where everything feels like it's crashing down. And I vented a little bit on Discord earlier, just being like, I don't think there's enough hours in the day between now and when these embargoes lift to actually get the shit done that I want to get done. There's just literally not enough hours, right? And it's still gonna happen. It's still gonna fucking happen. And then I was like, oh man, once tomorrow's over, I get to chill. And I was like, oh wait, no, PSVR this week is happening, and Shadowgate comes out next week, and Pools VR comes out next week, and it's like, man, it's just, I don't think we get a break until I want to say second week of December, but you know what's going to happen, Wes. You know what's going to happen.
They're for sure going to be games.
Zero Caliber is going to drop. Aces of Thunder is going to drop. Five Nights at Freddy's Secret of the Mimic is going to drop. And those are three of the biggest games of the year, right? And it's like, I was speculating on Monday's show about how likely a PSVR2 spotlight could be. And what I want to hear your take on it, because AJ seemed very against it. He didn't think that he doesn't even think that Secret of the Mimic is still in development for PSVR 2, and it doesn't sound like he thinks that that they would like to surprise launch Ace of Thunder. So I'm kind of curious about your opinion, if you think this is a possibility.
So let me just make sure I've got the premise of the question right, because I did not watch Monday. So you're asking like if we think it's possible that there could be some like state of play style showcase on Sony's end before the end of the year.
Let's not get crazy. We know that what Sony's capable of when it comes to PSVR 2, and it ain't no state of play. It's a blog post every 15 minutes for an hour.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're talking about the thing that they did a couple times before, where they have the timed blog posts. I mean, I guess it's possible. I don't think it's likely at this point. It's pretty late in the year, actually. We're literally just like 2 weeks away from kind of being past the target for most people. I mean, most of these studios are trying to launch by now. So I don't see like a big marketing push for anything really to fall in the early part of December. I mean, I could be wrong. As you've noted, there are titles that could pop up, but fairly significant ones. But no, I don't think it's likely to happen, in my opinion.
I think my feeling on it was mostly that we saw very little PSVR 2 in Jamie Feltham's show. Not that that's connected to Sony in any way, but then on top of that, there was the State of Play Japan, where they didn't even mention PSVR 2, even at the end when they were talking about how there's so many different ways to play on PlayStation. It was a real kick in the face to not even show a PSVR 2 during that segment, which screams PSVR 2. And so I really think that it's one of these situations where they just need to like give us the bare minimum. And I think a few blog posts and saying that they're going to do it, it kind of like just reestablish that whole thing that when they give us the bare minimum, we go, oh, they do care. That's all we needed. Just show us that you care, right?
Just
a couple updates,
anything,
release
right?
dates, anything, and then hey, a surprise drop because why not? We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, we will. I mean, it's certainly possible. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. It makes me wonder just how involved Sony is in organizing those types of things, because it typically is, all third party stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, for those, you have to apply to post on the blog like that,
Right.
and to have it all kind of timed together. I wonder. I'm curious if this is something where Sony has told the studios to like hold your announcement. We want to do them all on the same day, or honestly, I would not be shocked if it just so happened that there was 4 studios that wanted to do something on the same day. And they said, you know what? Why don't we just time them 30 minutes apart?
Right. Right. Make it seem like an event.
Shock me at all.
Right.
Right. Make it seem like we're doing something.
Exactly. Anyway, enough of that. Just remember that if there is a spotlight, you know who predicted that. It wasn't fucking me. It was Rypop. It's always Rypop. I just steal people's ideas from voice chat and then pretend that they're my own. Shout out to Daniel Burnett 5798 with the 2. Australian says, one day until battle marked. I'm so excited, guys. He's so excited. He just can't hide it. He's about to lose control. I think he likes it.
I like it.
Hell yeah. Man, Saved by the Bell ruined that song. You can't think of anything else. Yeah, dude. Battle marked. He's almost here. Tomorrow is battle marked. Tomorrow is Richie's Plank experience. Although Richie's Plank, I think, drops in about 6 hours at midnight. And then also Roboquest VR. So man, like what an exciting week, and it's already been an exciting month leading up to this week. So pretty good stuff.
Yeah, what a great week. I mean, there was the 3 that you named there, and then we had one launch yesterday as well, right? Am I wrong about that?
God, what was yesterday?
Yesterday was Quest. It was the Deadpool came out yesterday.
Oh, Deadpool. Right. Have you? It's probably a dumb question. Have you played Deadpool? No. Okay, moving on.
Not yet. No. We're playing it this weekend for Sunday's show, but no, I haven't got in there yet.
We got Game Cato with the level 3 membership. Wow. Says Struthcober, hope you all enjoy the smooth turn I funded in Richie's Plank experience. If it wasn't for my love of the Game Cat army, I never would have done it. Game Cats rock. Go pick up the game. Does it need to be updated? Because I checked for an update. There was no update. And there was no smooth turn.
There was no smooth turn. Yeah, that's right.
Good. So it just needs to be updated then. They need to issue the patch. Which hopefully will happen sometime between now and midnight, because that was kind of a bummer. I was like, oh, can I turn in real life? Can I turn in? I don't know. Also, this is fucking random, okay? I don't live in a house. I don't have a basement, right? I don't have a workbench. Shocker. Which means like I didn't just have a fucking random 2x4 sitting around. So can we all give a nice thank you in the chat to my building manager who procured a plank for me?
That's awesome.
Like, legit, it was an hour before GAMESCAST started, and I sent them a text message, and I was like, "Yo, do you have like a 2x4 or something, right? Like anything, any kind of plank, like anything, you know?" And I felt bad because it shows up with like literally square sheetrock, and I was like, did I misspeak in my text? Square sheetrock, right? No, but he came through. He came through with a plank so that I could properly test Richie's Plank experience. So that's awesome. I got a plank. Yeah.
I'm interested to have this conversation with you now because, yeah, I didn't know that you were going for the proper plank experience like you're supposed to do it. And I don't know if you've ever done this experience before. So it should be an interesting conversation.
Dude, listen, we Game Cato just fucking tipped with his membership. So let's break apart from what we were gonna do. We can get back to the beginning of the show later, right? I wanna go where the conversation takes us, and right now the conversation has taken us to Richie's Plank experience. And so I did capture some footage here. Let me bring it up for you guys. And I will say I didn't play it fully. I literally had like 20 minutes to test it out. I was waiting for a plank. and I mean, I have so many thoughts, but here, let me bring up the footage, and then you guys can see my living space. It's just an absolute fucking mess. There's stuff everywhere, and the plank I got was pretty short, right? And so I'm adjusting it. I didn't look at the directions on how to do this, so I am doing this like just on the fly. Look, there's my messy kitchen, and I'm sort of just doing it. I'm saying, well, let's ignore instructions. There are arrows everywhere. Let's just grab the side of it. It makes it super, super easy to map out the directions, the dimensions of the plank. And that was it. It took all of 10 seconds. And it was, I'll tell you this, Wes. I've been playing VR games for 10 years. And it was still really, really difficult for me to step out on the plank. I think they do a really good job of, first of all, like you're stepping, you can feel underneath your feet. I wasn't wearing socks or shoes or anything like that. I felt the board underneath my feet, and as you step onto it, there are sound effects where it's like the plank making noise as if it's struggling to hold me up, which is understandable. And if you see the controllers go kind of near my head, there is a point where I lift the headset up just a little bit so I can look at the actual plank on my floor to get out to the end of it. Because for whatever reason, I am struggling with this virtual world as if it's real. Like my brain cannot deal. And so I had to cheat a little bit just to get myself to the end of the board.
That's awesome, man. It's awesome that that you're still having the experience as intended after all of these years and all of this experience in VR. You can still to some extent trick yourself psychologically into
and it happens in games with that are like low poly, right? Like I remember Miles and I were doing some co-op in Zenith in some like very, very low poly areas, but we were really high up, and I was like, I remember just like kind of shaking, my knees were shaking, and this looks really good, right? I mean, we've got a
great.
Fully rebuilt city, the reflections and all the buildings, and it's just like it looks realistic. Something like Resist. Resist looks great from a technical standpoint, but does it look like a realistic city? Not really. This looks like a realistic city.
Yeah, I got to hand it to them. They've done a great job here. Definitely. The last time I did this, which has been some time, it was on the, standalone. I think Quest 2 was the last time I did this. And this looks like night and day improved over that. Plus, I mean, there's a lot more to do than just walk the plank in here now. Like the original experience was just kind of walking the plank and, having everyone face their fears, their fear of heights. And everyone, all the spectators get to laugh about it. That's kind of the experience that they boxed and sold here. But they've added a lot of secondary functionality into this, mini games and whatnot that I feel like add a lot of value to it, and actually were more fun than I expected them to be. We'll just say that.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too many games that let you just fly around the city. Right, like I found this part of it to be really, really peaceful, where it's like this is actually a race. I'm supposed to be flying through these rings really fast. Instead, I'm kind of dicking around a little bit and just enjoying the sights. But Richie at Toast Interactive actually put a ton of YouTubers into the city, whether it be billboards or, in the case of Without Parole, a rotating sign on top of one of the buildings. And I mean, what a sneaky fucking way to get a lot of YouTubers to cover your game.
Yeah, it's easy, right?
Yeah,
brilliant.
Yeah, just stroke the ego a little bit. Hey, we put you in the game. Like, all right, I guess I have to fucking cover it now. But it looks really good. My only real concern is that for people who suffer or deal with Mura a lot, this is one of those games that you kind of just look at it and it's got this haze over it, kind of like to make it look more realistic. And I just get the sense that this is the type of haze that will be very Mura centric for a lot of people. But people who deal with that will have to let me know, chime in and let me know if that's been the case or not. Look at that Without Parole sign spinning there. How good does that look? Jeez, All right.
Beautiful. So for what it's worth, I did not notice any like excessive mirror here, but I did notice the haze. I thought the haze was very noticeable and a little bit heavy. And it made me wonder why they did that because like this is typically like a trick that you'll see people use on standalone VR games to kind of limit the draw distance artificially and just kind of mask it a little bit. But that's clearly not what they're doing here. This game has great like draw distances, and obviously the PlayStation doesn't struggle at all with it. So I think it was more just of put in there to be more realistic. The hazy city, so to speak. But it did seem a little heavy to me when I was looking around. I was like, wow, there's a lot of haze here.
Yeah. I didn't really get a chance to go through all the game modes. I ran out of time. It is $15. Anybody asking in the chat? So I haven't had time to really play through and give it a full check out all the different game modes and all that. So there will be a Bryan bite, and I just don't know when. Unfortunately, this week got away from me a little bit. So I'm hoping it'll be out Friday after the two big releases tomorrow. But if not, I'm trying to get PSVR this week done, and so it may be like a Saturday or Sunday type thing. But very cool though, very cool, and it's come a very long way, as you were saying, Wes, from its original launch on PC and PSVR 1.
Yeah, I know for a fact that they've been working on this for a very, very long time. So it's good to see it finally make it over here.
Wally is now GameCast, specifically White Tiger, $14.99. I mean, that's his name. Not he tipped Canadian $2 tip. Says we need recommendations for work VR week. Bryan, OBS. Okay, he's referencing a conversation we had earlier. And okay, shoot. You know what, Wes? I don't think I shared this with you because I kind of forgot. We were going to do this. So give me 1 second so I can share this picture with you. And I'm going to slide this right here into our group chat. Or our chat, I guess. And this is the picture we're going to be referencing right now. So Wally is having some people at work play VR games and trying to figure out which of these games that are in that image, is this a good set of games to share with people who have a lot of them never played VR before. And so just to run it down for the audio listeners, we've got Gran Turismo 7, Audio Trip, Walkabout Mini Golf, Pavlov, Kayak VR Mirage, Puzzling Places, Five Nights at Freddy's, Help Wanted, Pistol Whip, Luminous, that's how it's pronounced, Luminous, our eyes, Switchback, Beat Saber, Racket Fury, Trombone Champ, Resident Evil Village, and Crisis Brigade 2.
I think there's a good variety here. And there's a lot of stuff that you would typically, you would expect casuals to get on with pretty well. And I'm assuming that these are all people that really aren't that experienced with VR. They're trying it out for the first time. So for me, it really depends on how long of a session are you going to give these people. I mean, if you're only going to give them like 20 minutes in the headset and check out as much cool stuff as they can in that few minutes, then those situations are going to be more about the spectacle, right, than the actual gameplay. And I think games like Kayak VR Mirage are perfect for that. If they're going to be able to sit and play a little bit more, then you need to have games like Beat Saber, like Audio Trip, and Trombone Champ, Puzzling Places, these sorts of games. So you've got a pretty good mix here. You've got both. I would probably not have Crisis Brigade in there. That's kind of it's not like a beautiful showpiece, and it's not an easy game to just pick up and play either. It's a pretty challenging game. So I would probably drop that and then maybe put the what's the name of that tech demo that you love so much, Bryan? The swimming one.
The Subside?
Subside. I would put Subside instead of Crisis Brigade. But besides that, I think the rest of these are pretty good.
Yeah, I agree with you with Subside, but only because I don't get motion sickness. I guess you find out real quick who doesn't get motion sickness in your at work. I saw Superliminal, the GameCat, recommend Subside as well. I think it's a great choice just to show people how cool VR can be, but make sure you have all those settings turned off where you can accidentally turn with your hands and all that.
By the way,
yeah,
the Horizon boat ride would be a pretty good 3-minute demo as well.
Horizon boat ride would be pretty good. I'm going to go back to our last conversation. I think you get a nice 2x4. You get it all set up, and then you put people on a plank, and have them play Ritchie's plank experience. Because one, it's scary without being dangerous, right? And I think a lot of people will get a lot of laughs out of it. And then on top of that, like it really is just it flying around the city in Ritchie's plank experience feels completely different than something like Resist, where it feels like it trips up your head and shit. And so if you get people who are really comfortable and walk to the end of the plank and they're like, oh hey, this is amazing, this is so convincing, you go, okay, cool, now you can fly around the city. It's kind of a multiple experiences all in one. So I'd go with that. I like these options though, for the most part. I don't know how I feel about Gran Turismo, and I'll tell you why. Because when I was young, dumb, and hanging out with my parents, I let my mom try Drive Club, and it was the worst thing I've ever done in my life. She got motion sickness immediately, and like she was sick for like literally 12 hours after that. And so I don't know if Gran Turismo is a great idea. I think, especially if you don't have like a racing rig or something like that to really ground people. If you're just throwing them in there with a controller, I think it's going to be rough. So I think I would stay away from Gran Turismo, to be honest with you.
Yeah, and it's not something that like you can just pick up really quickly and get into. Like it takes there's a little bit of time involved with getting organized and situated in that one.
We're going to move on to, thank you, Wally. We appreciate that. That was fun. GameCato sent 10 without parole gift memberships. Jeez, dude. he's paying for Smooth Turning to be added to games. He's paying my rent this month. Thank you so much for the support. Doing a lot for PSVR2, man. It's crazy. It is crazy. The GameCat Andrew Ehrenreich with the $2 says V Racer hover bike rules. Hey, flat to VR. Word.
No, people still getting on well with V Racer hoverbike. Absolutely love it. People still playing it on the daily, raving about it, and it's very motivating for all of us to see people reacting this way to it. It makes us just want to work all the more hard to continue bringing content to the game and thinking about what's next. And so shout out to everyone out there who's not only playing about it but making noise about it, telling people about it, because the people are still going on and on about it, and we absolutely love it. So thank you.
And I gotta say, this kind of stuff puts us in a difficult situation. At least it puts me in a difficult situation. I feel like without Parole, right? Flat to VR, Impact Inc. You guys are killing it. You guys are doing a lot, bringing a lot of games over. But obviously, that complicates things when it comes to GamesCast, right? It means that we've got to make sure that we're constantly telling you guys, like, hey, these guys are trying to be as honest as possible about their games, right? But they do, in fact, Wes and Miles work for that team. So I want to make sure that this is an ongoing conversation. That if anybody thinks it's like wrong, that these are my co-hosts for these episodes, I want to know, right? Because I want to make sure that we're not stepping over any lines that should be stepped. And on top of that, it'll be really interesting. This is still relatively new territory, despite the fact that you guys put out a couple games on PSVR2 so far. But personally, I didn't get too much into Trombone Champ. I am getting a lot more into the games that we're talking about recently. And so it'll be interesting for me to be, sitting here with you and Miles, having conversations about these games. So I just wanted to put that out there. It's kind of been weighing on my mind as doing all this other stuff. So, but just keep the lines of communication open with the community.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, it's a lot easier. It's a lot. It'll be easy as long as we keep doing like good games.
Yeah.
When we really drop the ball really badly, that's when it might get a little awkward.
Yep. And hopefully that won't happen. Hopefully that won't happen.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Waterside guy, what's up with the $10? Thank you for your generosity. Says, who do y'all think will win? He didn't say y'all. I said y'all. Who do you think will win the VR game at the Game of the Year, VR GOTY at the Game Awards? We talked about this a little bit on Monday's show, I think, right? Because what's nominated? Arcanage.
That's the only one I know of. What are the other nominees?
Deadpool, which wasn't even out when the voting went live.
Yeah,
which can't be legal.
That'll be that's what's going to win. To answer your question,
I mean, I
haven't played it, and I don't know how good it is, but I know how the world works, and that's what my prediction is Deadpool will win.
Yep. We also get the Midnight Walk in there in Ghost Town. I think those are the 5. Did I name 5? I think so. Arcanage should win. Should. If the world was fair.
Yeah, Arcanage, definitely has been our front runner all year for Game of the Year. But there's some other ones on there that are interesting as well. And for what it's worth, we haven't done Ghost Town yet, and I think we are going to do that one this week as well. So who knows? Maybe that one's really great. But I think of the games that I've played, of the ones that you mentioned, Arcanage is by far the front runner in my opinion.
I'm just weirded out about Ghost Town because I played the first hour on Quest, and as I was saying the other day, it was Grampy Gamer VR. Just had to check my comments because I'm bad at remembering names. He was the one that told me that Ghost Town's only like 3 or 4 hours, and I was like, "So wait, I've already seen a quarter of the game." Like what? And so that's the only thing that's keeping me from like being super excited about Ghost Town. I for whatever reason I had it in my head that it may be like 5, 6, 7 hours, something along those lines. But 3 or 4 seems a little short. I feel like it seems like the second it gets going, it's over. But,
yeah, well, I mean, it could just be one of those things. People play differently. Maybe one person's 3 hours and another one's 7 hours.
Yeah. Ghost Town is great, says Hippie Pickle, but will be even better on PSVR2. Yeah, I hope so. Because again, I played the Quest 3 version and it was fine. It was a good looking Quest 3 game, but man, it wasn't a good looking PSVR 2 game or Steam game. So I'm really excited to see what those the OLED panel does for it, the better resolution, hopefully some DFR, and have that thing look razor sharp and be a lot more atmospheric because of it. Everybody vote. Listen. I don't like to tell people how to vote. Although maybe I should start because I've seen what happens when I don't. Can we please vote for Arcanage? Everybody vote for Arcanage at the Game Awards. So, do we have a link for that? Jesus, the Game Awards 2025 VR nominees. Can we? I don't know. Is this it? Is this the link? Oh shoot! I forgot to say Alien. How did I thought I listed 5. I didn't list 5. Alien Rogue Incursion was one of them. I guess I only listed 4.
Okay, there's some competition for sure. Very different game than Arcanage, but quality VR game.
I put the link so you can all go vote right now for Arcanage. Alien's fine. Alien's good even. I would never put it in competition for Game of the Year. I would put Horizon Rain in competition for Game of the Year. And part of me was like, oh, obviously that wasn't included because it came out way too late in the year. And then Deadpool gets nominated and it wasn't even out yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Done.
Horizon Rain, I'm still trying to figure out how great it is. Like I'm really enjoying it. I've got probably 5 hours in the game, maybe 6. But I don't feel like I'm that far along because like there's barely been any combat yet. Like the combat sequences have been very minor, brief, and not challenging in the least. Um, I mean, what I enjoy about the game is the story and the very immersive environment and the physics. I enjoy the going into like the digital world and stuff, but um, it doesn't seem very like the gameplay is just it's there's not much to it yet for me.
I feel like I feel like you're on target here. I feel like you're portraying the game accurately, even if you haven't seen the whole thing yet. Because obviously there's the data worlds, and the data worlds kind of add that the challenging platforming and combat and that kind of stuff, and it does get way more interesting the further you get. However, I don't think of Lies and Rain. I might have even said this in my review. It never felt like a first-person shooter to me. It felt like an adventure game that occasionally you had to shoot some stuff. But it was all about the story, and that is, strangely, for someone who doesn't really enjoy reading in VR, that was my favorite part. Is just every time I saw one of those data logs, journal entries, whatever it was, pulled up a chair, sat down, and got to reading.
Those are dark, by the way, aren't they? Like some of the backstory is just like really dark.
Yeah,
which I love.
Big time. Exactly, and I think that's why it resonated with me, because I think this is a great story. So, and if you haven't watched my developer interview, go watch that, because no one's watched it. You got it. Listen, here's how things work. You know how, like, if you don't buy games from a developer, they're going to stop making games? Well, if you don't watch my developer interviews, I'm never going to fucking do another developer interview again.
Yeah.
Is how it works.
It's becoming like blatantly apparent that no one cares about the devs. People like to talk about how much they care about the devs.
Yeah.
No one cares.
No one cares. It's very true. It's very true. Shotty says Lies and Rain sucks.
I can see that. I can see that. No, I think it's a very high quality game. It's again though, like it has to lack somewhere, right? Like obviously, this very small team can't reproduce Half-Life Alyx on like 1/20th the budget, so it has to lack somewhere, right? And I think where that somewhere is like the action. Or at least it seems that way so far. But the rest of everything is top notch.
Do you have all three weapons? I mean, all three real world weapons?
Let me think. I don't know if I have 3 or not. I think I might have 2.
And then there's multiple weapons for the data world as well.
No, I haven't got that far.
All right, and that's something you pick up different weapons in the data world, and then like you don't see them again. But the game never doesn't tell you that you switch those weapons just in the data world, just like you would switching weapons in the real world.
Cool. No, what I did unlock the ability to use the charge shot to blow up the geometry in the data world, which is a lot of fun. Like it's super fun.
Yeah, and there is a level where that comes in very, very handy near the end. Whew. It's intense. It took me like 7 or 8 tries. Very difficult.
Cool.
So that answers your question, Water Psy Guy, of Lies and Rain. Well, that's not one of the options. Yeah. So you think? Yeah. Okay. We're both going to say that Deadpool will win because of A, name recognition, and B, Meta obviously paid for this.
Yeah, money for sure. Yeah. They grease the right palms.
We're going to do a couple more tips, then we'll get back on track, I swear. The Game Cat Andrew Ehrenreich with the $2 says, Deadpool VR rules. Oh, you played it? Nice. Cool. I'm not going to play it until after I'm done with Batman.
You should be done with Batman. Batman's fucking awesome. I couldn't put it down when it came out last year. I started playing it.
Listen, if I covered Quest games on this channel, I also would not be able to put it down. But I was forced to put it down because I had fucking PSVR2 games to cover on this channel. There's only so many hours I can spend in VR a day, Wes, and I have exceeded those hours, that number of hours, daily for the last month. It's doing bad things to my brain. It's doing bad things to my eyes. I think I need glasses. Wally's now GameCast, specifically White Tiger with the Canadian $2 tip, says Wes, flat to VR games SB should be sharp and smooth like Audio Trip. Oh, dude, I still haven't started Audio Trip. This is why there's no problem with me covering flat to VR games, because I don't fucking play them.
It's all right. You only have so much time to spend in VR, right?
I guess so. Sounds like Audio Trip's sharp and smooth.
Yeah, Audio Trip, it's kind of the same story as with V-Racer Hover Bike. We're bringing games over that have been in development and have been polished over years and years and years. So, the games are new to the PSVR2 crowd, but these are games that have been around for a while from talented dev teams, and everyone now over here is reaping the benefit of kind of being the last of the party, so to speak. So thank you, Waleed, for the recognition there. But yeah, it's absolutely true. This game has been polished over years, and it shows.
Red 49er in the chat says, dude, please play Audio Trip. Forget reviewing it. Just play it. I wish you guys knew. I wish you knew. I want to. I desperately want to. Right? And I just wish you knew how much time was being spent in my life on doing stuff on the channel. The answer is it's all of my time. Like I lay down to all I want to do is like play a Switch 2 game as I fall asleep, and that's not what's happening. I lay down, and if I'm going to pick up my Switch 2 to play a game before bed, I go, shit, well, I need to do a couple more runs in Roboquest because I want to make sure that I've played as much of that as possible before the review. And so I get up and I go play Roboquest for fucking 2 more hours, and then I take off the headset and die. So it is.
By the way, it's hard when you get kind of when a roguelike grabs you like that, something that is addictive, and you have to keep keep playing and playing and playing. Pretty difficult to put that down to go play a rhythm game, right?
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. I mean, again, when I'm knee deep in a review and I'm trying to focus on a game for review, and I'm bouncing back and forth between 2 games for review, both of which have long campaigns, picking up a third one is just, what? No, just not going to happen. Trying to stay somewhat focused. You guys know I have a terrible memory. I don't need a third game making things even more convoluted. All right, you know what, dude? We had so many. Let's talk about Roboquest, and we're gonna kick it off with a viewer takeover question from Metroman. Sirens on my end. Game Cat. Remember, guys, you can leave your viewer takeover question in the viewer takeover channel on our Discord. The link for that's in the description below. Come join us. Greatest community on the face of the planet. We're awesome. You guys are awesome. I'm okay. He says, #viewer takeover. Will Roboquest eventually have multiplayer cross-play with the flat version?
Well, while you can never say never, that's
never.
Most likely never going to happen. No, that's not something that's in the works right now. Just to put it plainly, I don't know if there's likely a technical reason why not. I'd say that the VR version is different enough from the flat version that it would require some significant work to make them compatible. So no, that's not going to happen. We are going to support cross-platform multiplayer so that like Quest players can play with PlayStation players, can play with Steam players, but not with the flat as of right now. Could happen one day. I'm not going to say never, but currently that is not in the works.
What's is there a time frame? Because it is launching without any multiplayer, as you guys have already announced. Is there a time frame for when multiplayer is going to be added?
Yes, and I don't know if they've announced that yet, but
Okay.
it's not going to take a long time. We'll just say that. In fact, they just I think Eric and Gamertag VR just played some multiplayer live,
Oh,
or not live, but they recorded a multiplayer session last week or the week before that, just to show everyone that it is something that's being actively worked on. It's just not completely ready yet, but it's close. So you won't have to wait long.
wow, what an exclusive. So happy for
I
him.
know, right? That's a pretty big
Um,
one.
it has a huge one. Wow. So huge. You know who would like it?
You know who loves huge ones, right?
Glad we're all on the same page. Um, yeah. Okay. So listen, I want to get, I want to get one. I guess we can say that launching without multiplayer is sort of a negative. We just wanted to get it out of the way. We wanted to make sure we talked about it because we don't want to get lost in the sauce here and then forget to mention it. But I want to get one other thing out of the way to get this
Sure.
thing started. The very first thing I think people like me at least will notice when they start this game up, and it's the fact that it's running Reprojected, right?
It is.
Um, but that is also not the that's not how it's going to stay forever, correct?
Oh, that's very correct. So, for those of you who don't know, we kind of started developing this game for, as is the case with most games, on PC first, and then we're trying to take that PC version and then kind of port it over to PlayStation, port it over to Quest, and we had to outsource the PlayStation version of this just so that we can get it out in time. We didn't want to have to postpone it like we did with Quest. We wanted to bring this game to PlayStation this year, like we promised. So we brought in VR Monkey, and as expected, they've done a great job porting this. But the fact of the matter is that we just barely got this over the line on PC to kind of get it finished, so to speak, for launch this month. And VR Monkeys they're just a few weeks behind. Basically, you have the PC version that's on this level of optimization, and then you've got the PlayStation version that's kind of like right here, right behind it.
Got it.
So yes, it is currently running at 60, reprojected to 120. It will not take long before this is running at 90 hertz native. We're just not there yet.
Well, I got to tell you this. It looks pretty good.
Yeah.
It. I am super sensitive to reprojection. I talk about it in my review, which is coming out tomorrow. You get the full scope of that then. But as far as like, hey, the way it launches, like, how is it? Is it like super distracting? And I really don't think it is that bad. And I think it's because, first of all, I played so much of it over the last week that I'm sort of getting used to it. But part of me is also part of it, it's one of these games that you should be so focused on the reprojection because you're using analog sticks to spin around in this fast movement, and it's like, a lot of walls right in front of you, and that's usually when you see it. However, it's because the movement is so fast that I think you're just focused on the action more and paying attention to what you're trying to shoot rather than the shit that's in front of you. And so I think it actually benefits somehow from being a fast-paced game. I don't, like I said, I'm super sensitive to it. I don't think anybody's more sensitive to reprojection than me, and it really, I don't want to call it a non-issue because I think when you guys get this up and running at 90 frames native, it's going to look beautiful and it's going to feel even better to play. But I think currently it's pretty damn good.
Yeah. And I think you kind of nailed it there because it is definitely noticeable. It's not like there's just something that you have to look for. Like if you're when you're in like the home area, right, your base camp, you'll notice it there. But as soon as you start playing, this game is so fast paced. Like everything's kind of a blur because not I don't mean like visually. I just mean like you're never stationary and you're never like focusing on what one thing looks like versus another. It's always it's kind of like playing Doom where you better be moving or you're going to be dead. And yeah, I think because of that, it's so fast paced that the little bit of ghosting that comes from the reprojection, it's just you don't have a minute to notice it. You know what I mean? It's kind of, I guess it's a little bit hard to explain to people who haven't played it, but you nailed it. Like the game is so fast that small anomalies, visual anomalies like that, you don't have the opportunity to notice it when you're playing. You get used to it like almost immediately.
Steve Irie in the chat says, not sure about those Quake style jump pads. Those fucked me up in VR. Bro, be prepared to be fucked up in VR then, because those jump pads or whatever, but this is a fast paced, full fledged first person shooter. Like I think that's such a great thing about a game that is developed for flat screen first, right? Because it just means that if you want the full experience in VR, you've got to bring us the full experience in VR. And that means in this game you can jump and you can double jump. And I have not unlocked the triple jump. I'm working on that tonight. And I'm also working on capturing a lot of new footage because this game has come along quite a bit in the last week. When I first played it, it looked a bit different than what you're seeing here. And I don't want to use old footage with where it doesn't look as good as it does.
Yeah, I think they patched it again today, honestly. I don't know if I told you that, but if they haven't, they're about to.
Okay. Well, I mean, listen, I'm gonna be up all night with getting new footage, and plus I gotta jump into Demio and check a few things in that too. So I got a full night of playing games ahead of me, and then I got a full night of editing videos ahead of that or after that. So it's gonna be interesting. Tomorrow's gonna be. I'll hopefully have some videos posted, and then you probably won't see me all day because I'll be like catching up on sleep. But this is it's not just running and jumping. It's like I said, double jumping, triple jumping, sliding, and then you see these rails that are everywhere. You can grind on those, like you just like as if you're like a fucking skateboarder or something. You grind on these rails. It's Ratchet and Clank style, and it's, man, if those bounce pads fuck you up, Steve, you're gonna get real fucked up. It's gonna be fun.
Yeah, they're not afraid to move you in this game. And I don't mean allow you to move. I mean they will move you. Like if you step into like a pond of sludge that's going to hurt you, that pond will throw you in the air and out of it. The enemy bots can sometimes take control of your character, and then you lose total control of your movement. And again, they don't throw like a vignette on when this shit happens. They just grab you and throw you around like we all want. You know, we all want to be grabbed by the hair and choked a little bit, Bryan. And I feel like this game does a great job of that.
Damn, I think we just all learned a little bit about Wes just now. Anyway, great. I'm having a lot of fun with it. It is. There's so many upgrades to unlock. One of the things. It always feels weird when we talk about a game that's been brought into VR that's been sitting, you know, on the flat screen for so long, because I'm always curious how many people watching are like, oh, well, I'm very fucking familiar with the flat screen version. Why are you telling us about how this works? We just want to know about the VR implementation, but I think there's enough of you guys out there who don't even know how the game works. And so what I'm going to put it very simply. The first person shooter roguelites that we've had up until this point just absolutely fucking pale in comparison to the content that this offers, right? This is basically going up against Sweet Surrender, which we just got on PSVR2 less than a month ago, right? It's an older game, but we just got it. In Compound, which was, you know,
big shots. Yes. And is that it? Are those the three? Are there more? Am I missing? I want to say there was another one, but I don't remember offhand what it is, so it must not be that great.
Well, anybody in the chat, if you remember about other first-person shooter roguelites that we've gotten on PSVR 1 or 2, let me know, because I'm drawing a blank at this point. But as far as content goes, this kills it. This is why hybrid games are important, right? Because they're just bigger and better, deeper mechanically, and there's just more. They just had a bigger budget because they know they're going to be able to sell more copies, and that is exactly what we're seeing with Roboquest. There's just so much stuff to unlock on the upgrade board, right? That's what you're doing constantly. You upgrade those by collecting wrenches that enemies drop in game. And so anytime you see a gold wrench drop, you just fucking run and grab it, because, you know, where I am now, it's like you need 20 wrenches to even purchase your next upgrade. So that's my only reason for trying to survive in this game, is to go and get more wrenches and keep upgrading my abilities. And I think this game is just more well thought out than something like along the lines of Synapse, where you upgrade a bunch of shit in Synapse and you become invincible. Right? The stuff that's here just kind of makes more sense. It's these slight upgrades. They give you more options when given a choice of, hey, here's a new weapon. It gives you 3 weapons instead of 2, right? Or when you find a store, there's like 4 things to purchase instead of 3. It's these kind of small upgrades that you unlock one at a time, one after another, and you keep going, man, I just want to upgrade all these things. There's a slight negative here. And that was the driving force for me for so long playing this. And I do think that once I got to around, the 10 or 12 hour mark, I was like, man, okay, this is starting to become kind of a grind. And I really wish I had a friend to play with. And that's when I think, when I get to the 12-hour mark, I'm like, man, I kind of want to wait for multiplayer to be added to kind of grind out the rest of this game with a friend. But again, even as it is, it's just trouncing Compound and Sweet Surrender and Big Shots, big time.
Yeah. Again, full disclosure, I work for the company that released this, but yeah, I couldn't agree more. Like it's a different class of game than those. With all due respect, those are fun games.
Yeah,
make it seem like they're not, but this is on another level from that, in just about every way.
Absolutely. And there's the more you play, the more shit there is. There's stuff to find. There's reasons to explore. You end up unlocking different routes through the game. Right? At first, I was like, oh, I've seen. Hold on a second. There's what, 6 stages or something along those lines, 6, 7 stages to get to the end. And I was like, what? Is this really? And then suddenly you unlock a door that had been locked the whole time. And now you've got completely different levels, like alternate routes to take you to the end of the game. And there's just so much going on here. And so again, for a $30 game, I think there's just a shit ton of content. And I've got 15 hours in it right now. And I feel like I could easily spend another 15, easily. No question about that.
Yeah. Talking to the team, that's kind of how they make it sound. Like I don't have that much time into it, but that they say that, this isn't like the classic sense. This isn't a game in the classic sense where like when you finish the final boss, you're just going to be done with the game. They fully expect people to continue playing after they finish the boss and just get better at it and continue to get more powerful and unlock more stuff and get to the point where they're like speed running it.
Yeah. And just, I don't know, man. Like I'm showing, I think, 2 weapons in this footage, which is crazy. There's like 80 weapons, and what's not apparent at the beginning and becomes more apparent the more you play is that they at some point they want you to put down the guns, and they want you to pick up like these melee fists that you can get, or I think they call it bonking when you jump on an enemy's head, right? And so I can only imagine. I am not that good at this game. Even 15 hours in, I'm not that good at this game, and I want to keep my distance from these enemies. And so when you get really good at this, and you're able to just kind of Mario it around and run around and jump on these enemies' heads, it seems like that will be even more effective. But you have to put yourself in danger in order to do that, and that's the whole thing. That's this game's entire motif, is saying, hey, you can hang back like Bryan's doing in this footage and trying to play it safe, but you're not going to get a lot of the benefits from doing that, right? If you're low on health, you need these health orbs that these enemies are dropping, and they only stay on the ground for like 3 seconds. And so you have to run out into the battlefield to get health when you're low on health, right? It's the risk reward stuff is great. I think they absolutely nailed that. And I can finally see why it was so well regarded on the flat screen. So I think this is.
And
sorry.
And the arsenal is so massive too. So like you can adopt a number of different play styles depending on which weapons you come across, which things you find, and which upgrades that you unlock. So I'm like you, Brian. Like I've been kind of hanging back. That's just my natural play style.
Yep.
But sometimes the scenario doesn't allow for that, and you're kind of forced to get in there. But if you build your kind of loadout around that kind of close quarters combat, you can really become very powerful in those situations. And that's just me talking about what you can do with like the Guardian class. I think there's like 6 different character classes that you can unlock. All of those have different abilities as well. So yeah, no matter how you like to play, the game has you covered. But sometimes your hands are tied and you just have to jump in there, right?
Yeah. 64 Papaculo says, are there different difficulty levels? Yes. As always, I'm playing on the default difficulty, but there is an easier level and there is a harder level. And I don't want to fucking even try the harder level because I'm struggling with the default difficulty. I may, listen, I might drop, now that you've brought this up, Papaculo, I may drop the difficulty down tonight just to see if I can get some kick-ass footage for the review. But no, if you see me doing anything extraordinary in the review footage, it's because I fucking dropped the difficulty and cheated. All my footage so far looks a lot like what you're seeing right now. All right. Well, listen, I feel like that's some decent impressions, and I want to make sure that people have a reason to tune into my actual review tomorrow when the official review embargo lifts. So maybe we cut it off there.
Sure.
Cool.
It's good.
Oh yeah, it's good. If we did make that clear. Yep. Oh, sorry. I should have. Sorry, Game Cato. I should have read this tip fucking forever ago. With the Australian $5, Game Cato says the smooth turning for Richie's playing experience will be there when you play it at launch in a few hours. It's for the flying modes only, though. Okay, so when you're going up the elevator and stuff like that, which you have no reason to turn that way and during that anyway. All right, good to know. Good to know. Who needs Richie when we get a Game Cato? Paradise Decay with the £2 says Deadpool, one of the best VR intros. Excellent. I don't know. Listen, what's the word on the street about Deadpool? Are people saying it's good?
I'm here. Some people are saying that it's great, and other people are saying that it's okay. Like it's not unanimous by any means. I haven't heard anybody really say that it's bad, but how good is it is apparently debatable.
Okay. All right.
No one says it's as good as Batman. Like everyone agrees that last year's Batman Arkham Shadow was a better game than this Deadpool game.
I mean, Arkham Shadow is a tough game to beat, right? I mean, that is, right? I think even if we had Arkham Shadow on PSVR2, I'd be like, oh, not too many games like this. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Yep. And that's me only having played the first 2 hours or something. So I don't even know what I'm in for with Arkham Shadow. I just think the first 2 hours are great. GameCat Andrew Ehrenreich with the $2 tip says Roboquest VR is going to rule. I think it's going to rock at launch, and I think it's going to rule after launch. Yeah. Jesus, hold on. It's a GameCat. GameCat is just throwing money out like it's fucking Monopoly money today. GameCat with the Australian $50 says, I downloaded my Roboquest VR key this morning, and straight after the show, I'll have to go to work. Have to go to work. 8 hours, damn it. But as soon as it's over, I'll be in there. So exciting. What a great time to be alive. Besides the state of the world, LOL.
Right.
Yeah, except for everything that's going on. What a great time to be alive. Things are great. So listen, when shit sucks, at least we can put our VR headsets on and be somewhere else, right?
Exactly.
Pretend everything's fine.
Exactly. We have better distractions now than at any point in human history.
It's true. Also, thank you for the support, Game Cato. That's a lot of fucking money. Comic book guy with the £2 says, got the PS Portal last week, and it's just okay. I feel like I have the same feelings about the Portal as you, comic book guy. only because my connection just is kind of spotty with it. I was trying to play Balatro, and like the connection would get so bad that the image would get so pixelated I couldn't see what card I was playing. But I love the concept of the Portal, right? I always wanted a portable system where the screen was that thin and that big, and the fact that you're literally just holding a DualSense split in half, right, with the awesome adaptive triggers and the big weight of it and the girth. Everyone likes the girth, Wes. The girth is a part of it.
Right here.
Right? I love the concept of the Portal. I just wish that it connected to my Wi-Fi better. I don't understand what's happening there. Yep. Oh, hold on. Oh, Flippy Nuggets, welcome to level 1 membership. Thank you so much. Cool. Wes, we do have a news story worth reporting on. It is not something that's happening this week, but it's something that's happening next week. So let's bring that shit up. This is
Can I shout out World of Long Plays in the chat really quick?
You can always shout out World of Long Plays.
He says, we'll do a stream of Roboquest tomorrow at 1900 CET when the embargo lifts. Here's the breaking news that not everyone's aware of. We actually put out the wrong embargo time for that. It's actually lifting an hour earlier. So it will be launching at 1800 CET. I'll be sending out the email to inform everyone of that after this episode's over. But yeah, just so you know, noon Eastern time tomorrow is when this game drops.
Isn't it great when you have to tune into GAMESCAST to get your embargo information?
Yeah.
Listen, Flat to VR is still new. We're gonna give you a little bit of leeway on this one.
Yeah.
Don't let it happen again.
I was working on this email when we had to jump in here and do a show. So is what it is.
Now it's my fault. It's
100% your fault.
It's always my fault. Fucking craziness. All right. We were about to talk about this. Oh my god, this is the tiniest image ever. Here, I'm gonna blow this shit up. All right. Shout out to Jelly, prominent Discord member, who tracked this information down on Twitter, I guess. In response to Tensori, who's developing Pools VR, they had said back in September, Pools VR demo coming soon. Jelly said, any update on that? And they responded, full game release day next week. And hopefully we'll get, and this drives me up the goddamn wall, Wes, PS space VR space 2. How many goddamn spaces do you need? Okay, it shouldn't have any spaces, Sony. But no, like Tensori, but just for the fucking funsies, let's put an extra space in it just because Bryan's probably going to see this and he's going to lose his mind about it. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. I'm not on edge. I haven't had too much coffee today. Everything's fine. There's not listen, there's not a space in PSVR 2, but there's definitely not 2 spaces in PSVR 2. Okay.
There's infinite spaces.
Ooh, infinite space. Good Sega game on the DS. Okay. Anyway, hopefully we'll get a PSVR 2 demo out by then. Rest assured, we want to offer the first chapter demo for free for VR players too. Unfortunately, we had to put the demo release on hold because we had to focus on the full game release, but it's coming. Cool. Listen, I can only assume these guys are a super small team. Demos are harder to create than most people realize. And it is very cool that we're going to get it because I think, as we know, fuck you, Markio. I see you in the chat. Fuck you with all those spaces. I'm watching you. Oh no, everybody's doing it. Fuck everybody. I think Pools is going to be all about how good the world looks. And so if they're proud of it and they give you the first chapter for free, I think there's 4 chapters, 15 minutes a piece, something like that. I don't know. Not that long. Give people a taste of that. Let them in and let them see how beautiful this thing is. I hope it is. I hope it's beautiful because otherwise I don't know what they're doing.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing. I'm hoping that there's something cool here. I'm leaning heavily onto the fact that people that have played this seem to be impressed by it. But I don't know how it's going to land with me. Like, we'll see.
Yeah. Yeah. Listen, it's all about, hey, what's around the next corner? What is this world? You know, seemingly kind of normal at first, like just like sort of a public pool type thing, and then it just gets weirder and weirder and weirder. And I'm all about that. If this thing's running at 90 native, it's running like, you know, super high res, and it just looks great in the headset. I'm going to be so down to experience this from start to finish, keep the headset on, pump the volume as loud as it possibly go, and experience this the way they want me to experience it. I am so worried that that's not going to be how it launches. Yep. All right. You know what, man? Fuck it. We're gonna do one more viewer takeover question. One more, just because we love you guys so much. And while we're talking about it, I'm gonna have to pick a 4-minute challenge game. Rachel, the Janky Game Cat, asks on Discord, when do you think we'll see the next first-party VR game? This generation? If not, doesn't matter. Take it away, Wes. What do you think? Are we ever going to see another first-party PSVR2 game this generation or even next generation?
I think yes is the answer to both of those. Honestly, I'm starting to feel like there's going to be some push. Like, so for them to bring out another title that they've invested millions and millions of dollars into, it needs to be part of some sort of promotion of the platform, right? They need to be pushing VR or PSVR forward with it. They can't just be launching it to launch it. Like, they're not going to make their money back. They already know that. So they need to be trying to sell headsets. And so in that context, you start thinking about, well, what could they be promoting? What could be their angle with this launch? And the only thing that comes to mind, if they're not going to do like a completely new headset and a new platform, PSVR 3, then the only other thing that they could be potentially promoting that's new would be PSVR 2 on PS6. And I'm thinking that that's might be what we see here, because we're so close to the PS6 already. It's within a couple of years now. So there's always that for traditional games, there's that in between phase where games run on both, right? Like, games during the transition will run on the last gen console and the next gen console. And I think that could be, like, if they're going to promote PSVR 2 again, I think that they're probably going to do it in the context of what the platform is capable of on a new machine. So I think that's the answer. I think that the game will obviously, I think, will run on PS5 and PS5 Pro with PSVR 2. But I think if you really want to experience it, the next level version of it, whatever it is, I think that's going to be on PS6. And I think that that's going to be their angle, and most likely when they'll roll it out. All speculation, of course, and I'm willing to hear other opinions.
I think we will see. I think we will see some kind of push from Sony for PSVR 2. I do not think that they have any interest at all in doing built from the ground up VR titles anymore. They are mad. Like, whether you guys believe it or not, they are mad at me for talking about hybrid games. Right? This was a very internal thing that they did not want people to be talking about, right? And for good reason, obviously, because it's not when they want to talk about hybrid games, they'll talk about hybrid games. We talk about hybrid games and use that term because that's how they talked about it internally. And I think that's what they envision, at least the future of VR to be. maybe from their perspective. And so I do think we'll get some kind of hybrid game from Sony. Obviously, Gran Turismo 7 was a great example of that, right? The Capcom games, the Resident Evil games, great example of that. But I think we will see something from Sony before the end of this generation, but it will be another hybrid, which I love. I think that's great. Jason says Astrobot Rescue Mission 2. And I think Astrobot's a great contender for this. I honestly do. I think the flat screen Astrobot game is absolutely ripe for the VR treatment, right? With just a little bit of reworking to make it work with the Sense controllers, or maybe even not, just to let us use the DualSense and figure that shit out.
But Nicholas Duche said that wasn't possible.
Well, if Nicholas Duche says so, I guess it's not possible. Ooh, Ian Stambridge has Ape Escape VR. I still believe. Listen, big fan of Ape Escape. The first one was good. 2 and 3 were great on PS2. Those games would be awesome. All the different gadgets you could use in VR, right? With like the run around capturing the monkeys in the net. Okay. Yeah. Anyway. Real quick, we got. Is it? Oh, GameCato said 10 more without Pro gift memberships? Jesus, dude. Jesus. He's talking about going to work for the next 8 hours. He's going to work the next 8 hours to pay for all the tips on without parole. Scott, PSVR GameCat for life with the level 1 membership. Says P, definitely no space. S, no space. V, no space. R, ... 2. That is the most number of spaces I've ever seen in PSVR2. GameCato with the Australian $2 says P space SVR2. You guys are ridiculous. You're triggering my insanity. All right. Fortunately, I took all that time to pick an awesome PSVR 1 or PSVR 2 game. Wes, it is your time. Your turn to guess. Everybody out there, please help. Wes, this is not easy. I've got a PSVR 1 or PSVR 2 game in my head. Wes has 4 minutes and an infinite number of yes or no questions to figure out what game I'm thinking of. Please help him in the chat. Suggest good questions for him to ask, and then based on the answers I give, suggest good games that it might be. Are you ready, Wes?
I am as ready as I ever will be, Brian.
That's a no. On your mark, get Dez, go.
Is this a PSVR 2 game?
No.
Is this game on other VR platforms?
No.
Besides PSVR 1? No. So this is a PSVR 1 exclusive. Is it playable flat?
No.
Playable flat. So PSVR 1 VR exclusive. Is this game developed or published by Sony? Is it a first party game, or I guess a second party?
No, I don't believe Sony had anything to do with the development or publishing.
So it's a third party title, exclusive to PlayStation VR. Is it first person?
Yes.
Full locomotion?
Yes.
Does it support move controls?
Yes.
Aim control?
No aim.
DualShock?
Yes. To a degree.
Okay, so so moves and then some DualShock. So to a degree, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, but is there combat in this game?
Yes.
Is it melee combat?
Yes.
Is there any like shooting?
It's been a while. I don't think so. That's certainly not the primary.
Okay.
No. I'm gonna say no. We'll go with no.
Okay, so are there unconventional locomotion controls in this game?
Yes.
Okay, so this threw me off because I thought this was a Sony game, but I guess not. Are there interesting changes in perspective and scale in this game?
Yes.
Yeah,
You got it.
Yeah. How much time do I have left?
A minute and a half. Just say it.
A minute and a half. Okay. Does this game support the PS Move Nav controller?
On PlayStation 4, it did. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Is this game Golem, Bryan?
Indeed, it is coming out all the way back in November 14th, 2019, from Highwire Games, and then published by Perp. If you can believe that.
Okay.
This is in fact Golem, and here's the crazier part. This was either the first or second PSVR1 game ever shown, ever revealed. It was either this or the Zombie Taxi. What the fuck Zombie Taxi Company game is that? You know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't. But this game I do remember was a Punchline. It took them like nearly 6 years to come out with this game. And
it was shown in 2014 and then it came out in 2019.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. This is like Aces of Thunder, like for that generation.
Yep. This yeah. It was a Punchline. Everybody was absolutely convinced this was never coming out. This was Starchild until it actually came out, right? And then when it came out, it was incredible, absolutely incredible. Big open world, beautiful AAA production values, and just really well told story. The music was great. I even have the prequel. Is that what they call it on vinyl? And then it's also available to listen to online. Just, I mean,
one of the first games to ever really nail the physics based parry in a melee game.
Yeah,
the block and counter attack.
Yeah, and I thought it worked so well, and I couldn't stop playing. I was so obsessed with like trying to figure out how to get through this world and where to go next, and how to unlock doors and progress through the game. I was so obsessed with it, and I again, the combat felt so good and natural. And then I saw, I think it was Jamie Feltham's review on Upload, and he just destroyed it. It was like saying that he could never figure out how to parry and block and fight. I was like, what? It drove me crazy. I was like, what is wrong with you? This is a fantastic game. What But it was called Modern. You clued me in when Jeb Hart in the chat said I saw the zombie game in Game Informer. I've always wanted it. It was called Modern Zombie Taxi Company. I think that's the game I'm thinking of, and it was. I think Golem and Modern Zombie Taxi Company were the first two PSVR games ever revealed. I think it was like in 2014 or something like that. It's crazy.
Golem was good. I think there was legitimate criticism of the locomotion system because that was terrible. It was really bad.
Yeah.
But after I could play it with nav controller, it was great. But for those of you who don't know, the way you moved forward in this game was by leaning forward ever so slightly. But the tracking system of PSVR was not that precise. So that translated to your movement. Like it was never good. You were constantly recalibrating. And it really killed the experience until they allowed alternative locomotion options, whether be it through the nav controller or through using your DualSense. And after that, it was just a top-notch, excellent AAA quality game.
I mean, they screwed up from the get-go. They absolutely should have let us use two move controllers and just, because you only were ever controlling one arm, right? That was the downside, being like you're this massive golem and I don't know. I think the worlds were so beautiful that they created, like so detailed, and you walk slow because you're this big hulking stone statue. And so while you're walking, I wanted to like look around, but because of the locomotion scheme, that always brought you where you were looking.
Yeah.
Right. It took you twice as long to get anywhere because you're always just looking off and then walking in that direction. Like, no, I was trying to go over here. So listen, these guys are never making another VR game. We're never gonna. These were also Highwire was like the 6 Days of Fallujah people. So I think this was their one and only VR outing, and we'll never see them again. This is, people talk about games that are on PSVR1 that are not making it over to PSVR2. This, I think, is just such an absolute shame. Give us 2 arms in VR with the Sense controllers. I would love it. I'd love to play it all over again. Anyway, we got to get out of here. Let's read these last couple tips and get on with our nights. Just one. Thank goodness. It is Aaron Manier with the level 2 membership. Says, hey guys, new to VR, and your channel has been a great resource for learning about the catalog. Thanks for doing what you do. Thanks for being here. We wouldn't do this without you.
Thank you. Absolutely.
It is it's funny, Wes. People are always talking about PSVR1 games and stuff in the general chat in our Discord. It was so funny. Somebody mentioned Doom 3 VR, right, which is a big deal when it came to PSVR, and so I was like, "What? Doom 3 came?" Because there are lots of people new to VR, and so somebody was like, "Oh, what? Doom came to PSVR1? That's crazy." And I was like, "It's just like copied and pasted the link to my review, right?" And then there was somebody else posted a list of like Upload VR's list of all of the PSVR1 exclusives. And somebody mentioned Eden Tomorrow, and I was like, Eden Tomorrow, and I clicked the link. Here's a link to my review, and it's just so crazy going through the PSVR1, all of my PSVR1 reviews. There's hundreds of them. I think I reviewed 350 PSVR1 games during those 6-7 years, whatever it was. And it's just so crazy to go back and look through all that, and accidentally basically creating a resource for people who are just now getting into PSVR1 or PSVR2, I guess. I really, really do hope that those videos are useful to people for years to come, because a lot of work over the last decade doing this stuff with, and I just don't want it to go to waste.
Yeah. Well, I'm hopeful that that in the coming years we, like, even if we never see it from Sony, which hopefully we'll start to see that generation get its time back in the spotlight again. Hopefully it doesn't go the route of like PS3, right, where those games just get locked out for so long. But even if that doesn't happen, I'm hopeful that sometime in the next decade, that once PS4 emulation becomes like old hat, we start to see these games pop up in the PC space, with people being able to enjoy them on modern hardware that way, because it is the best VR catalog that we've ever seen still. So these games deserve to be enjoyed by people who are only now discovering VR going forward. So I hope they're preserved in some way, whether it be official or unofficial.
Agreed. And that's going to take us out of here. Thank you everybody who supports the channel, whether it be on patreon.com/withoutparole games. There's a bunch of new Patreon supporters, guys. Thank you so much. We're trying to keep this channel alive, keep the lights on, and you guys came out in force when I said, hey, we need some help. You did it. Thank you. We're about 10% of the way there, but you are absolutely killing it. More people than I ever expected came out to support us, so thank you very much for that. But you can also show your support by being a member over here, by tipping during the show. We appreciate you so much, but we're just happy that you're here, being part of our community over on Discord, in this chat, shooting the shit while we shoot the shit, and helping out during 20 questions, of course. Looper says this is the 3rd time Gulman's been picked, by the way, just FYI. It means the world to us, but even if you're sitting back watching the show, not saying a goddamn word, we know you're out there, and we love you just as much. Happy Wednesday, Wes.
Happy Wednesday, Brian. Happy Wednesday, cats. See you tomorrow.
Let's go. All right, and before we go, as we always do on each Happy WesDay, we got to take a look back at yesteryear, This weekend without
Format.
parole history. I can't wait until it's like 5 years from now when we're looking back on today's episode. And we'll be like, man, can you believe that Roboquest is still stuck on PSVR2?
Bring it to PSVR3, flat to VR.
Right? Oh yeah. You will not be my co-host. You'll have moved on to greener pastures for sure. Anyway, let's take a look back at what was happening this week without parole history, all the way back in the year of our Lord 2022. This is November 18th, 2022. I'm sure I can find it here. It's almost here. Oh, here it is. Could bad press kill PlayStation VR2 before it even has a chance? I think the answer is yes, Wes. We all know it. That's exactly what happened.
Yes, it absolutely did. And you know what's funny is the narrative that they spun up then persists even today. We got more games than we can handle. Too many games, not enough time to cover them all. But still, when you talk to people about the platform that don't really own it or are really involved with it, that's the first thing they'll tell you is that there's no games for it. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, and listen, it's very the Steam frames kind of come out, and no one's going to complain about the price. I guarantee you, right? And then this headline in the top left: without owning a PS5, Call of the Mountain will cost $1,000 to play. Right? It's just such a weird conversation. People saying
It's weird. Yeah.
Right. Factoring in the price of the PlayStation 5 when talking about VR. It's like, yeah, okay, that's true. But, you know, VR is marketed toward people who own a PlayStation 5, right? This is another way you can play on your PlayStation 5. It's like, I can only imagine. I don't know how many people were out there being like, well, I don't own a PlayStation 5, but I really want this PlayStation VR 2. So let's see. I got to get a console and a headset and a game. It's gonna be $1,000.
Yeah, it's always just the dumbest premise ever. Like, so you have to buy into a platform to play that platform's games? Unheard of.
Right. And
So
it's
listen, like, if you don't have a gaming PC, it could cost up to $2,000 to play Half-Life 2.
Right. And listen, while the statement is true, it's such a fucking scumball, sleazy headline that you're like, who put you up to this? Right? It's so suspicious, right? And then you see, was it The Verge? Remember The Verge? Is that what I'm thinking of? Where they had the photograph of the person that's all tangled up in wires trying to wear a PSVR 2 headset. Do you remember that?
I don't, but it doesn't shock me. There was tons of stuff like that.
Right. It felt like as people who loved this thing, that there was an actual smear campaign going on. It was like, what is happening? How are these people just like trying, like jumping through hoops to make this thing seem like terrible when it's incredible?
It was meta because, I mean, look, we were coming from PSVR 1, which literally was a spider web of cables to hook up. And we came into this new one, which was literally a single cable. But because this wasn't trying to be MetaQuest, the entire gaming media pretty much just shit on it and misrepresented it in many cases.
And listen, these are the people Sony sent the PSVR 2 headset to. The people in these thumbnails who all they did was shit on it. And you know who they didn't send one to? Let me give you a hint. This guy, yeah. It was hard. I don't know. I was going to do the two thumbs thing, but you guys can't even see me right now.
Can't see it, right?
Right. Anyway, just a nice little trip down memory lane. Fuck all these people.
Yeah, especially that dude. That dude right there. I don't know what his name is, but I've watched his content, and I always get angry when I watch it because his bias is so apparent. So fuck that guy.
Yeah, I think I know who he is, but it's been, I haven't watched his content in like 5 years or something. So, all right, that's good enough. Let everyone stop being angry, stop being happy again. You guys have a great night. We love you all. Meow.
Yeah.